I don't know how to play. Okay, good, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna move you. Please forgive me. So what I'm just gonna do today is we're gonna prep some of these wood grounds. I have uh, 3 of them. I'm gonna show you how I prep these to get ready to make signs. So all I do is I have this fine grit sandpaper, and I just go over, obviously, the front, back, and also the sides. I try to get a lot of this rough edges off here. I do the front and the back, even though the back of the sign is just the back of the sign, but I like to get all that, because when you get a piece of raw wood like this, you can feel some of the roughness on there. And then I just wipe it down with a paper towel, and I can still feel some of the rough. So I go through and sand out all the rough areas I can find and feel. This will get a coat of black paint or whatever color I happen to be making the sign with. Most of my signs do have black. I usually just paint it black and do the mandala painting on that. Occasionally I put a different color in there, but not very often. And then we will paint these. Also, I have 2 more to get sanded. I like to, and what I do is I don't want to do them one at a time. So I usually will, when I do them all at once. That way they're prepped, done, and then when it's time to make a sign, I can just pull one out. It's already done. Now, what happens when I do this? I just go over. You can tell the difference when you first get it. It's kind of rough, but once you sit it down, it's almost smooth. It's so smooth. And then I feel a couple of raw areas right there. Flip it over to this side. This is just a fine grit. I don't know what grit it is. It's a, let me look. It's a 320 or 2020. I don't know. One of those. Is this is what I use. See all the dust that comes off from it. I need to do the sides. Give me some. It's like pressed wood. They've pressed it together, so it's layers of wood. And these can get kind of rough, and they have. If you're not careful, you can get a sliver, because occasionally you get one that's poking out there. Now I paint the sides too, but still I want it to be a little smoother. I don't want it to be too rough. Oh, just got sawdust in my eyeball. Don't feel good. Okay, last one. And it doesn't take very long to prep it like this. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do layer of black paint. Flip it over. I like it both sides anyway, because once I get the paint on and get it all touched and that, you know, I'm going to have a choice of which side looks better once I'm done. Okay, this side. Okay, now I can tell there's some, here I can tell, see, there was some manually paper towel, so I know right there, and then this needs to be sanded right there. Otherwise, it's going to cause problems. There we go. A couple more rough edges there. And I can feel rough edges right there. Lightly go over that so it's no longer rough. Don't get crazy because you can totally change the shape of your piece if you get a little crazy. Okay, so even though this is a silicone mat, I don't want to have to clean off all the paint when I'm done. So what do I do with those now? There they are. So I have these. I only have a few left, but obviously these were Thanksgiving napkins, and I still have to. What I do is I open them up and I use that. So when I'm painting, it'll get on here, and I can just throw these away. So we're going to be doing black paint. I just have a regular paintbrush. You can use a wider one. You can use a roller, which I don't have, which I should really invest in. And this is just black apple barrel. You can use whatever, black, pink, green, whatever color you want. This is what I use. When it comes to my mandala paintings, though, I normally use Deco Art Americana, or occasionally I'll use Folk Art. This is extreme glitter. Apple barrel's okay. It's a little too thick, and sometimes on the mandalas it will crack when it dries. It tends to want to crack. So, but as far as just a base, works perfect. Perfect. As I said, Apple bear is pretty thick. I mean, I could put a medium in it and thin it out, but that's kind of a waste of my medium paint when I don't need to. Dab, and then I try to do the sides first. And I know my camera is like right up in your face. Right up in your face. So let me go through and get this all on here. I mean, you're going to sit here and watch, but I'm going to go a little faster than just dabbing it on here. got a paint booger. Booger. So a paint booger is just, obviously, it's what it would sound like. It's just dried paint that's dried up in there. So it's like it globs on. It gets in your way, causes problems. Excuse me. Now on these edges, kind of hard to tell here, but where they're pressed together, sometimes you have to get in there and kind of just dab that paint into there because it's not such a smooth surface that it just glides over. But okay, and we're going to put some of this paint back in here because I got way too much on here. And I just kind of glob it back there. Okay, so this will dry. We're going to paint another one. I'm not going to paint all three. I'm going to paint the next one so this one can be drying so I can show you what I do once it's dry. Because I don't just paint it, let it go, and then do my painting on it. There's another whole couple steps that I do to this. But I got to let this dry before, and I really don't want to get my heat gun out to do this. So I get paint on my hands, but that's just the way it is. A little bit back on this. Try not to get so crazy with the paint this time. We'll just put a little bit. If we have to put more on, we can, but it's a lot easier to put more paint on it if I need than it is to try to squeeze it back in like I did a while ago. So again, I just use that as my palette for right now. Paint the sides. When I first started doing these, I would paint the surface and then try to do the sides, and I would get it all over. It's just much easier to paint the sides first and then lay it down. Because this way now I can grab it like this as I'm going around, where before it was painted on the surface and I couldn't do that. And, you learn as you're doing things. And I didn't learn this on my own. I learned it by watching somebody else that was doing it. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Good Lord. I'm smarter than this. At least I thought I was anyway. So for those of you that may stumble across my page and see this, my name is Vicki. I am the owner of Porch Crafts. I have been doing crafting, well, I've been doing crafting all my life, but I have had my business page and my business here, Porch Crafts, for almost 6 years. I don't go out of my way to, push my products or anything. I craft things, and if people want to buy them, great. If they don't, great too. But this is my happy place. This is what I do. And I just like to get on here and make videos or to share. Okay, so neither one of these are going to be dry enough for it right now, so I may have to get my gun out anyway. Oh, where is it? There it is. So this might be a little loud, and I'm so sorry. I don't know how to mute anything, so I'm just going to try this one because it's already in the frame. All this is it's not a heat gun. so it doesn't get overly hot. It's more like a blow dryer. It's not warm room. So I guess I should call it the warm room then. So you don't want to use the word GUN because, then they think you're doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. I really just let these dry naturally. And I kind of want to show you what my next step is and how the whole process goes. I suppose I should have painted one before I came on. That way it would have been dry. See? I'm smarter than that, but apparently not today. Oops. Right. Oh, doesn't quite like watching paint dry, is it? Almost there. I don't get it dry though, because what I'm going to do, my next step is I take the sandpaper I had and lightly go over that. Give it a second coat. And then let that dry. Now that one I'll just let dry naturally. So I do this, let it dry, I'll lightly sand it, and then of course it'll, and then I give it a second coat. I let that dry naturally, and then I very lightly go over it. And because right now it's rough. You can feel the paint, you can feel the wood, and it's just very rough surface. So if you need, when you're going to be painting on something, you want it to have a fairly smooth surface. So when I sanded it down as natural wood, it was smooth, but then I put this paint on it, and all of a sudden it's really, you can feel the wood grain, you can feel the paint on top. Anyway, okay, pretty much. It's good enough because it's getting a second coat anyway. Okay, so what I do is I just take this piece that I was doing, and just lightly go over it. Now I don't do the sides. You can do the sides if you want, but I'm just going to be painting on the surface, so I'm going to wipe it down. Yeah. It doesn't really have any, you can kind of see wood underneath, but it's getting a second coat, so what I'll do is I'll put the second coat on like I did. I will let it dry, and again, very lightly go over that. And right now it's still kind of rough, but once I do the second coat and then I do the sand again, it's going to be almost like, it's going to be like glass. It's weird. I don't know how, but it just does it that way. And I'm going to get a different brush to use. So I know it looks the same, but it was part of its sister there. So I'm just going to put another coat on it really quick. I'm not going to dry it like I did. You've got the gist of what needs to be done. This is just how I prep them. I have found this to be the best way. It ends up being nice, smooth surface for me to do my mandala painting on them. sure you get the whole surface there, not just spots. Okay, so there you go. That is it, and like I said, just let it dry, sand it again, and it will be good to go. Of course, I will paint the back side once this is all dry and done. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, guys.